Good morning. It's about 10 a.m. on the 13th of March 2025. You're very welcome back to Real True Education, not fake news from rural Ireland. We've had a week of really good weather, really dry weather, maybe a little cold for tourists, but not much. The problem is for farmers, we're always out fixing something or repairing something, and we work too hard. And that's the way it goes. But anyway, not complaining. Doing a job on the tractor and other machines, and if you have to get down under them, it can get in your eyes. The dust and the mud of years back gets in your eyes, and it soon gets better. It doesn't do them any harm. Anyway, people say, why don't you wear goggles? If you're doing a very tricky job, you need to be able to see clearly. No, that's not the point I'm on here this morning. The meeting of the Taoiseach, Micheál Martin from Cork, took place in the White House yesterday. And I must say I felt very, very proud, not because it was Micheál Martin that was doing it. If Fine Gael had to play their cards right in the last election, they could have actually had Simon Harris, the Taoiseach. But anyway, it was Micheál Martin. And so I wasn't particularly proud of him, but I'm very proud of Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, to see him there and all the good wishes to put him there. The best thing that ever happened to the world in the history of the world in my lifetime and before. And all the said about him. Micheál Martin propping up RTE to the tune of 350 million a year because nobody wants to watch the stupid programmes on the Irish National Broadcaster and all the wet cultural Marxist, loony, left women, blonde women. So anyway, they tried to put down Trump, but Trump prevailed. Anyway, I was very proud to see Donald Trump, President Donald Trump there, and his Vice President J.D. Vance, who said that he was in Ireland in 2023. Wouldn't I have loved to have met him? But anyway. Now, so that was all right. The meeting went well. Trump showed anyone that was honest that he is not the monster that he was portrayed. The reason they hated him was that he was going to attack the slush fund for the United States Democratic Party, USAID, and he was going to attack it, and he is doing so. And he was going to take away their vested interests and the control of what I have been still working on to identify is the deep state that exists in America, Canada, and Europe, and centred in London. We know that's there. The exact nature of it we're still working on. Anyway, the meeting was warm, and President Trump and Vice President Vance exuded a warmth for Ireland, and it was lovely to see our national symbol being presented there. So it was a very happy occasion for me from the point of view of the Trump administration receiving my country, Ireland. I'm an Irish patriot, and Trump is an American patriot. And there we are. So anyway, Trump did hit on the situation with the 13 billion fine by the European Union on Apple. And I think it's fair to say Trump and Vance hate the European Union, and I hate them too, so we have that in common. We want its destruction, essentially, and it's coming very fast. But whether the rights or wrongs of the Apple thing is there, you can argue underneath. Don't bother your head. We leave that for another day. So the next thing was he mentioned about Ireland stealing jobs, but he didn't blame the Irish for stealing pharmaceutical jobs in particular. He didn't blame them. He said it was his previous administrations that were let down the side and didn't look after the interests of America. And that was fair enough. So it would look to me like he will be doing some little part of a reset on all of that. He mightn't go as tough on Ireland as the rest. I don't know. We'll see. But there will be a loss of jobs in Ireland. There will be a big loss of jobs in Ireland as he brings the tax rate down to 15% and as he coaxes these companies back to America and maybe slaps tariffs on them. But his style is to slap the tariff on and then withdraw a bit and come and go. Everyone makes the point, oh, he puts a tariff on, then he's forced to withdraw it. No, that's part of his bargaining bargaining toolbox, and we'll see how that works out. Now, that's all right. I'm not critical of anything that went on yesterday. I'm glad it went off well, but it would be remiss of me if I didn't mention the Burke family who went to America to protest. And indeed, they are right. I support their cause. I could have been a teacher. Someone belonging to me could be a teacher and forced to do what happened to Enoch Burke. Now, let's be honest about what's happening here. The left-wing pro-LBG pronoun homosexual extra. I'm not against ordinary passive homosexuality. I'm against the pushing of it as the mainstream. I agree with Trump's decision to decree that there is only male and female and work from there. So under that, it would be not possible for Burke to be in the trouble he was in. Although in Ireland, if they go against you and you're not able to fight them, they'll put you down whether you're right or wrong. And the same goes for the European Union to some extent. Now, the Burkes were protesting and they did not fight their case. I see a video there of American journalists going up to them, and they just sat there and just talked. What's wrong there is, and it's no fault of them, they're just not up to debating the issue. In fact, it's highly debatable that the only one capable of debating with these freaks is Val Martin and Donald Trump. Maybe J.D. Vance. I would have put my case, I would have stated my case, and this comes because they don't know the law, and they probably can't be expected to know the law. What you probably find and what people post underneath here, apart from the few loonies, the Coughlin's Tom, what you probably find is that they're learning from the bit of law I give them and all of that. And it's my knowledge of the defamation law that lets me defame popular figures and very rich people. Well, they can't come after me because I'm too smart for them. And so it was a pity. If I was there, I would put my case eloquently and truthfully. The Burkes are right, but you have to argue your case. And I have said from the word go, their case should have started with the fact that Enoch Burke was constructively dismissed when he refused to call a by they. That was not in his contract when he joined up to be a teacher. The Irish courts would shoot you down and you'd have to follow it right through all the way. I won't have time to start a fund or campaign on their behalf. They never came near me. But if anyone else thinks it's worth doing, it would be worth. I would definitely throw a few pounds, few euros into any fund to help them out. But of course, if you give them money, the court will take it. So you'd have to have someone like me holding it. You'd have to have me. I have no power. You'd have to have me holding it like that. And the court saying, Mr. Martin, give us our money. And I'd say, come on, I'll go up to the court. Come on, Judge, down off the bench. Up we go. They wouldn't get the money if I had it. I'd handle them rascals. So that's the story. But it was well they went over, but they played it bad, and that's why I wouldn't get involved there. Ignorance is no good. You needn't be going for ignorance. And in fact, it's very hard to get good intelligence either. So we let you go at that. It was a good day, and I'm not knocking it anyway at all. The right to choose that slot because it could affect a knife-edge decision by President Trump. And I think, on Ireland, and I think we need to have some type of a thing after President Trump. You know the way if they call Allah in the Muslim religion, you talk to Allah, and then you say, God grant him peace, or God bless him, or something like that. Do you know the way you do that? The cat's running around here going to jump up. Do you know the way you do that? So you say, Allah, God bless him, or Ayatollah Khamenei, peace be upon him. We need a follow-on for President Trump, so that when you mention President Trump, you say something, it's amazing, and his genius or something to elevate his persona away up and upset the lefties as much as possible. There's a great program there on Sky News, Lefties Losing It. Rita there, she's on about the lefties losing it. Now, just to finish up, folks, and it's nearly for another video. DOGE, Department of Government efficiency in America is playing puck. President Trump and J.D. Vance lost time yesterday. I was glad Elon Musk wasn't there. The departments are shredding evidence every minute. They need to have me over there. They need to have somebody over there to watch them and get into those offices and not allow the shredding, police or whatever. They're disposing of evidence. The USAID was a slush fund to divert money for the Democratic Party's election fund for private purposes, and there'll be some of them almost certainly prosecuted. They're running like rats, and all the big popular figures in it are running like rats. They're on the phone night and day seeing what, and the amount of houses gone for sale in Washington is unbelievable. They're all selling their properties. They all own big $1 million mansions in Washington, and they're selling them because they won't be able to pay for them, for the mortgages to have on them, and also they know that if they have assets, the state will come after them for their thievery. That's the first thing. The second thing, the amount of Googling for lawyers in Washington, specialising in the sort of stuff they're at, is gone through the roof. All types of advice centres for corrupt people and all of this, it's all gone up big time. They're on the smartphone looking for a lawyer where they're being thieving or whatever happens. And we ain't seen nothing yet. So that's the story. Some of the popular figures, some of them that was whinging about Trump and the horrors of Trump, are now in the position of maybe facing prosecution and certainly investigation, and we see how that goes. So that's it. We move on. It's not St. Patrick's Day in Ireland until Monday, so we'll see you back. Comment underneath, and please, there's a few there. Joe Hayes, Coughlin's Tom, you're not abusive enough in your posts. You're very negative. You're lefties losing it, but try and be a bit more abusive to me. Personally, say something worse. I like to see you at your worst. I see you panicking at your darling American Democratic Party, your darling Nancy Pelosi, your darling AOC Cortez, all being smashed, and Starmer being smashed in the UK, and the EU, and the source of been beaten, and NATO been beaten. You want to be a bit more abusive there, because you must be crying into your cornflakes every day. Good luck. Bye bye. We'll see you back. Thank you.